Well, Governor Siminalayi Fubara has presented a 2024 Rivers State Appropriation Bill to 5 lawmakers. Well, the governor arrived at plenary of the Assembly under the speakership of Right Honorable Edison Ehie around 9 a.m. The governor was accompanied by the Secretary to the State Government, Tami Danagogo, Commissioner for Finance, Isaac Kamalu, the Commissioner for Information and Communications, Joseph Johnson, and other members of his cabinet. Now, the State Executive Council, in its 5th sitting on Monday, approved the estimated budget of over 800 billion naira, and the budget is christened the Budget of Renewed Hope, Consolidation and Continuity for the 2024 fiscal year. That's a little bit corny, if you ask me. Well, during the Wednesday proceedings, the Speaker, Edison Ehie, also declared vacant the seats of 27 of the 32 lawmakers that defected to APC. Now, this is coming after the demolition of the State House of Assembly building on Moscow Road, Port Harcourt local government area. According to a government source, the project was being undertaken by the state government. We can also recall that the hallowed chambers of the State Assembly was burned down by unknown political thugs earlier, during this crisis. Well, the legislative arm of the state has been involved in a serious crisis following a move by some lawmakers to impeach Fubara. Now, so yesterday at about 5:30, there was excavators and bulldozers at the state at the assembly complex. Those are the pictures that you can see on your screen. It was dynamited, it was blown up, and then brought down, and it's been said to be unfit for legislative matters. Right? Well, we still have with us in the studio Lawale Kundayo, who is an educationist and also a public affairs commentator. And, well, we touched on this briefly during the newspaper review segment. We touched on it. The man himself, the governor, Siminalayi Fubara, was perceived as a quiet man. He's not as loquacious as his predecessor, but he seems to be, standing his ground. Does this appear to you, the demolition, does it appear to you like a revolt of some sort, insisting that, look, I am the man in charge and I take decisions here? Is that the feel you get from this, or do you go with the analogy that the building itself has been unfit for legislative matters for quite some time?
Yes, that's the answer.
To which one? It's unfit.
That the governor is trying to say, is telling them openly that I'm in charge. You get it? It's either you go along with me or I demolish you. That is the meaning of what he's saying. You know why? Because the house itself has its own budget, maintenance budget, and they run that house by themselves. So why is the governor coming in? They didn't make a request to the governor, did they? They didn't. You already have a budget for all those in maintenance of the house. You get what I'm saying? The house itself already has a budget allocation for the maintenance of that assembly complex.
So don't you think it's actually a waste of public funds having to demolish the...
That's what I'm saying. That's it, because there's a fund already. If the fund is not enough, they will have requested to the executive. You get it? That, okay, we need fund, or we need you to do this for us, so it will have been official. Not the governor coming on his own and begin to demolish that place. So he's telling them that I am the authority here. That's what he's telling them. So
right.
He's okay. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I am the authority. That's what he seems to be saying. There's a little twist to this.
Okay.
What some would say. I don't. Well, there's a little twist to it. Yesterday was also Wike's birthday. He was 56, if I'm not mistaken, and the governor, sent him a message on his X handle, and he actually did say that, look, my oga, my boss, let's okay, that's the tweet on our screen. So let me read out the message there. He says, hearty congratulations, Your Excellency. I congratulate my Oga, His Excellency, Chief Dr. Barrister Nyesom Ezinwo Wike, CON, GSSSRS, Life Bencher, immediate past Governor of Rivers State and Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, on his 56th birthday today, December 13, 2023. Your Excellency, my dear wife and I, and the good people of Rivers State, join your family and friends to felicitate you on this day. We sincerely pray that your new age brings you joy and good health. Once again, happy birthday and hearty congratulations. This feels like he's taunting the man. Don't you think
that they're actually in a war, sort of, and then he's writing all these good things about him? It feels.
I don't see any.
You don't think he's taunting him? Possibly
maybe trying to put him in his place.
No. I don't think anybody can send any message. You can even send a message to your enemy.
At the time when you are at loggerheads.
It's a truth. As a time you can do that as a strategy to so that when you are taking some actions, you get it. The enemy, like you are reading the person psychologically, you want to win a psychological war. You get. So I want to fight this guy. You start with a smile. You get it. The person will feel like, okay, maybe he's not going to throw a punch.
Shouldn't that be somebody that you should be afraid of? Shouldn't that be somebody that you should be cautious with? Someone who smiles.
That doesn't say much.
And, taunts you at the same time.
That's it now. That's it. This is psychology. The guy is playing psychology. You get psychological manipulation. You get it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm in charge of my state. So as if I'm in charge of my state, I don't want this person to see it as I'm fighting a battle with him. So you smiling.
He's trying to put him in his corner.
Yes, you'll be smiling at him while you'll be doing what you want to do. You get it. That's the game. Like he's sending him. You can even send him a very lovely gift. That the guy will so that.
But before this war actually became very intense, when they were asked to settle their issues, Fubara said that it's like a father and a son. Father and son can actually have issues, so that they would possibly settle their issues. But it doesn't seem like there's any issue to be settled anytime soon.
That's it now. You know why in Yoruba they will say a farm that belongs to father and son, you get it, must have a boundary. So what he's doing is that he's giving him his boundary. See, I am not fighting you. I'm just taking charge of what belongs to me. The state belongs to me, so I'm not fighting
as the chief executive officer.
Yes.
Now, what do you make of? How do you react to the presentation of the budget, the 2024 budget, to just five lawmakers?
See, even if he's presenting it to all the lawmakers, there's an issue. You know why? Because you want the budget to be used in 2024. Okay, so you are presenting it in the middle of December. So what do they want to do? Where they are going on a recess very soon. So and you want to use the budget in 2024.
But apart from the fact that
and the 5-man panel you are presenting it shows that he has no respect for that house of assembly. He knows that it is not proper for him to present that. How can you present to 32 people, you are presenting to 5? And in that, they have committees that will look at each part of the budget, and you are presenting it to just 5. So what will the 5 do? They'll just append their signature and go. Nobody is scrutinizing you. Nobody is checking the budget. Nobody is doing anything.
If you're going to talk about the time that he's presenting the budget, even the president presented his own budget and gave the assembly 30 days to approve it. So the anomaly seems to start from the top.
You know, we discussed that in here.
Yes.
And I was saying that the presidency is not the issue. You get it? The presidency is not the issue.
So what then is
the lawmakers that are creating problems in this country. You get it? Because it is your duty to make laws, to checkmate and run, to make the executive run the government effectively. If you know you need to go through the budget. That's what is happening across the states now. You need to go through the budget. You have committees that will go through the budget. They will need to do visitation. They will need to look at the pricing. They will look at and you need time, and you are not boxing the executive into that time that will be convenient for you. You get? You are telling now the executive knows that I have done some. You know what I mean now. Maybe I should not say more than that. The executive.
I know what you mean.
Okay.
So you can say what you mean.
No, it's okay.
The executive.
This is the voice of the people, so you can talk.
The executive, knows that it has done some, some, like what you say, frivolous. Let me use that word. Okay. There are some frivolous things inside it that if these people see this thing, they may question me or they may return the, So they now present it, it's their own strategy too. They now present it at a short time in which it will be difficult for the lawmakers to be able to scrutinize that big document. You get what I'm saying? They present it at a short time. Now the lawmakers, instead of them to say, okay, I want to do a good job, how can we've been seeing how this thing has been happening. There has always been this same problem happening since Nigeria. We got this new democracy. You get what I'm saying? This thing has been happening like that. So how do we now make it not to happen such that we'll be able to do a good job? The Nigerian people will say, yes, these people have done a good job. What do we need to do? Let us make a law. You get it? Let us box the executive into a corner so that if they are not doing it, the Nigerians will see that they are the ones disobeying the law. You get it? You now make a law, put them, say, in the next 6 months, we need 6 months or we need 4 months at least to do the budget, to go through the budget. So you must present your budget in August 1st. So by November 31st, we will have finished scrutinizing the budget and we are submitting the budget back to the executive by December 1st for the executive to begin operation by January next year. You get it? So it's already in the law. Everybody will be on their toes.
But you know that, okay, but you know that the governor of Lagos State also presented his budget recently alongside Alex Oti as well. So why do you have issues with Fubara?
No, I'm not having issues with Fubara. I'm having issues with the reps. Okay. That's why I said it is not the fault of the executive. The executive itself is playing a game. You get it? It's playing a game in which the budget submission will favor them, and the reps, you get it, are the ones that are not playing their own part, and they are the problem. They are the problem. Why? Because you are the one that are not the executive say, okay, I've already presented the budget. Even if they present it, I say a day, bring it second day. It's not their fault. They have already presented to you. If you know that you are not convenient with the timing, why not? You are the one you are the one making the law now. Okay, if father and mother are in the house with their children and daddy says, Humphrey, don't come home anytime it is. Everybody must be at home by 8, must be at home by 9. Everybody, that's a law. So everybody must be at. If you don't get at home at that 9, then you have disobeyed the law. But if father didn't give any law and you come home around 9, 10, 11.
Yeah.
And further complain, you say, but sir, you didn't tell us that we should come home at this time. So that's it.
Okay.
So the lawmakers are the problem. They are the main problem of this country, because the constitution is a law that was made. It is your duty to fine-tune the constitution in such a way that it will now make all the 3 tiers of government to be able to favor the people. But lawmakers are not doing that.
So now, moving back to the Rivers State crisis, you know that the PDP has declared the 27 members that left the seats vacant, and then 2 others actually came back from the defection. They came back to their former
PDP.
Yes, to PDP again. So now, what do you actually make of this? Saying that there's a video I saw on social media the other day. Wike was saying that you don't defect from another political party to another one. Is it easy to actually buy? Is it easy to gather votes? Why would you defect from another party after gathering so much votes from this party, and you're moving to the other party thinking that you're actually going to move alongside with the votes? What do you make of this?
See, governors have been defecting, have they not? They were, both, all of them were voted into office. Which one of them was not voted into office? The president was voted into office. The governors were voted into office. The reps were voted into office. You get what I'm saying?
But I think
and the governors have been defecting, and nothing happened.
I would have to butt in at this point. I think certain lawyers have had to explain that, according to the Constitution, governors are not bound by, well, I can't exactly explain it, but governors are not bound by the same rules that lawmakers who are representing constituencies are bound by. Now, the 1999 Constitution, Section 109, addresses legislators. It doesn't address governors. So, well, according to certain arguments, governors can defect and retain their seat, but lawmakers cannot, according to, well, some explanation. That's another thing that talks about how the Nigerian Constitution is, and the sort of
defective. It's defective. Let's use that word.
That should be made. Yeah,
it's defective. The last time I brought the constitution,
yes,
I told you that it was forced on the people. You get it? The experts did not sit down to really fine-tune this thing in such a way that it will be able to place a check and balance on all. You are saying the governor, this and all of them were elected.
Okay.
All of them were elected. So if it is affecting this, it must affect this. You get it?
All right. So now that we have 25 governors hanging in the wind, as it is, because if they have defected and their seats have been declared vacant, then we are looking at INEC conducting elections like it's been instructed to replace them. First question: do you think INEC will go ahead to conduct elections in for those vacant seats, those declared vacant seats? If INEC does so, how do you think? Do you see a situation whereby more? I mean, there were 27, 2 returned. Do you see a situation where more prodigal sons will go back home?
See, nothing will happen.
Also, bear in mind, sorry to interrupt. Also, bear in mind that the PDP acting national chairman did say recently that the party is looking to gather as much people as possible. The party is looking to forgive, bring people in, because in politics, numbers matter.
Now, nothing will happen. You know why? Because all of them, they have all this, their cabals and godfathers. That's what they've turned the whole country into anyway. Godfatherism and cabal, so those are the ones running. Before you know it, they will now start pressing their button, and then before you know it, they will go to court. The court will say status quo until the judgment. After the court, they will go to appeal. From appeal to, by that time you will have finished your tenure now. You get what I'm saying?
So you think they might actually end at the court as usual?
That's what is going on. I'm already telling you what is going on in the political mainstream of Nigeria.
The tenure, the theme.
That's it.
He's finishing the tenure, the thing. How about running for office a second time? Most governors want a second time.
By that time, they will have resolved it and everything will have come back to basics. By the time they come, before you declare them, by the time the Supreme Court now said, okay, truly declare their office vacant, and they are defecting back to PDP. So how do you declare it vacant when they have already defected back to PDP? That's the politics now. If the Constitution has stated clearly that if you defect, automatically your remain vacant, you can't go to court for that. It's already stated here clearly. It's already stated that if you defect to another, from that party where you are to another party, automatically your seat becomes vacant. INEC automatically moves in and begins its operation.
So why hasn't INEC started?
It's because the Constitution, you get it, that's a lot of flaws. It creates so much flaws. You get it? You are telling me all of them are elected. You are now separating, okay, you can defect. You cannot defect. If you defect, it doesn't mean. If you do not defect, you can. Why do you call the president Your Excellency? Have you ever thought about that? Why is that it's only in Nigeria we call the president Your Excellency? Or we call the governor Your Excellency? Do you know the meaning of excellency? Excellent. Somebody that cannot be wrong. You get what I'm saying? That's somebody that is above some things, maybe the Constitution. That is what he's saying. So why do you call the reps honorable? Somebody was voted into office and you are calling the person that is supposed to go there and serve you honorable. Is it not the one supposed to be calling you honorable because you put him there? See, that is what the politics of Nigeria is playing. The moment you get to some certain say the Constitution empower you totally. If I give you opportunity to be doing some certain things that are, out of place. That is what is going on. How can the governor of a state just come with a bulldozer to the House of Assembly and demolish? I said because fire happened there. So okay, let me say I have a house now and the fire happened in my house. The governor of my state will now come with a bulldozer the second day and demolish it.
No, that's different. That analogy is different.
It's not. It's a separation of power.
It's not your personal house now.
No,
it is the state property.
So then, who owns the state?
The people, of course.
So why is the governor the one? Excuse me.
That's why the governor is the chief executive officer.
Wait. You said the state is owned by the people, right? So who is representing the people between the governor and the rest?
Let's look at this.
Excuse me. That's politics. It is the people.
Let's look at this. Okay. The assembly has been said to be unfit for quite some time.
Who said that?
Well, it's in the news.
It's been on the news.
See, wait. Let's face it now. The assembly has their own budget to maintain their complex. The governor has his own budget to maintain it. Okay, look at the one of the president. Anytime the president wants to maybe do something that has to do with the executive, why is the lawmakers not taking action? They want to renovate the house of the vice president, the office of the vice. Was it not true? So why is not the judiciary or the parliament, the reps going to demolish it?
So are you saying that the governor of Rivers State has an ulterior motive for demolishing?
Yes, now. He has no power to go there now. He has no jurisdiction to go there. It's not his jurisdiction. There's separation of power. These people get their own budget for their own place. You get your own budget for your place. This get their own budget for their place. Even if the complex is collapse, you still have to wait for them to come to you. Because it's separation of power. They already have a budget. Now, by the time it's telling you how much you use in demolishing that place, you are going to shout. And the budget is already there to maintain that place. By the time you now do that and you do that, and what happens to the budget that's already on ground to do those things? The lawmaker will now pocket the budget, or they will return it back to. See, something else is going on. There's you were going to say that the exact word I want to say.
Ulterior motive.
Thank you.
Okay. If you say so. So then, considering the fact that the crisis has lingered for a very long time, the war in Rivers State, and then we know that some people from parties like SDP and other parties are saying they are going to support the governor. Do you think that the governor would actually be able to build an army that would possibly help him, like they say, politics is a game of numbers, that will help him win the next tenure?
See, all these things I believe is doing is exactly what you have said. He's trying to tell the lawmaker, I'm in charge. You get what I'm saying? He's trying to tell them, I'm in charge. You are my boy. That is what it's all, what is indirectly telling them. That was why two things he has done now, two things to show that he's telling the lawmakers that they are below him. He's superior to them. One,
that's your analysis of it.
One, he moved in to demolish their building without their consent. Two, you are presenting budget to 5. So what do you want to gain when you present budget to 5 out of 32? Remove 5 from there. It's not even up to decorum.
But their seats have been declared vacant.
See, is it the governor that is declaring the seat vacant?
No, the speaker.
Okay, the speaker is declaring the seat. Okay, even if you declare it vacant,
factional speaker.
Okay, I don't even want to whether factional or no factional. You have the speaker.
And also the NWC of the party has also declared their seats vacant.
Those ones are just talking. The constitution is what that would either declare them vacant or not. Now, you have the speaker. You have 5 people. Let me say you want to pass a bill. You want to tell me that 5 people will pass a bill, form a quorum? Are you telling me? Listen now. You want to tell me that 5 people will form a quorum? No. If you declare it vacant, it is the constitution that will still come and say truly it is vacant. But during that time in which the constitution has not come to say it is vacant, they are still the lawmakers. That's what the law says.
All right, so there's a video of what I mentioned earlier, Wike saying you cannot win an election in another party and defect to another party. Let's listen to that.
But you have to be careful. You give somebody an umbrella, the next day he defects. EFCC will come. He said, no, let me join them, so EFCC will not be against you. You carry the vote of another party, and you join another party. Can you transfer vote? You work hard for somebody to win the election. Tomorrow the person says, no, I have defected. If you are defecting, leave the seat.
As just said, shouldn't their seats be declared vacant?
This one is just bragging. Let me use that word because it's not the constitution. You get it? This thing is saying supposed to be said by the constitutional lawyers. They are the ones that will quote the constitution and tell us what the constitution is saying, so that we can all go to court.
But what he's saying is valid. You don't transfer votes. You don't transfer votes. You don't win elections on a platform, and some days into your work as an elected officer, you run to your neighbor's house and say, okay, I'm no longer in this house. You don't transfer votes.
It feels like you use the political party to get votes.
Unfortunately, especially as we don't have independent candidates. Candidates are elected on the platform of political parties. But we wait to see if INEC will conduct a re-election for those declared vacant seats, if the seats are truly vacant.
Or maybe they are going to run back to...
If the seat is actually vacant.
Repent and go back home. And if they do, well, we'll see we'll wait to see what happens. We must thank you for your thoughts on this, but we'd like for you to stay as we go on to another part of the show now.
Yeah, so up next on VOP this morning, former Niger Delta militant leader and also loyalist of current President Asari Dokunbo. He reveals that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the worst president to lead Nigeria ever. Details in a moment.